Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. Probably one of our more read articles on Locker Gnome over the past week was the one written about legalities surrounding Hackintoshes. And we wanted to make it very clear that we were talking specifically about the law. Had nothing to do with relativity other than your interpretation of the law. So we did a follow-up post with a different author on lockergnome.com that you might also be interested in. And thank you, by the way, that the first article was very warmly received, even from people who completely disagreed with the law. But that's exactly what this new article is about, really about the ethics behind Hackintoshes. And ethics is it's an interesting topic. It's relative. What's right and what's wrong? Well, I purchased the software, therefore I should be able to do something with it. Well, I made the software, and I'm telling you that no, you can't do anything you want with it. Who's right and who's wrong? And so the ethics of a Hackintosh or a jailbroken phone or doing something with a product or a service that you weren't necessarily cleared to do. Ethics is a good topic of discussion, if only because you get both sides of the argument. Is there a right and wrong? Well, in this case, not really, because I see it from both sides. Granted, it may not be for me, but if you're someone who believes that you should have the legal right to do something with anything, well, as long as you can defend your position, other than saying, you're a big poopy pants, that's not a defense statement. That's horrible. Not even is it admissible? Maybe in Canada that's an admissible argument, but here in the United States, we like logic, generally speaking. So I like these types of discussions, if only because you get to hear both sides of the story, and you don't have to concede that the other side is right or wrong, as long as both sides can be heard. And that's really the discussion point around talking of the ethics of Hackintoshing and or jailbreaking and whatnot. T-Rex notes here, and this is very important. Many people don't understand this. You don't buy software, you buy the license to use it. And that is very true. Many people believe, I purchased it. No, you purchased a disc that has the software on it. That's it. You have to agree to the license before you can do anything with it, really. We even went in depth and talked about how previous cases that came to light specifically around Hackintoshing, or specifically the SciStar case. What was right about it is they didn't actually install OS X on those computers. They shipped a copy of OS X with the computers and let the user decide for themselves. But they were still kind of like the pusher, if you will, on this whole discussion. So who was right and who was wrong? I mean, granted, we all have our positions, but I only hope that when we talk about these issues of relativity, good is relative, better is relative, great is relative, bad is relative. If you can back up your statement and your ethical code is replete throughout your entire code of conduct, then I think, you've got more than two legs to stand on from your side of the argument. And I'd like to believe, despite the amount of, I wouldn't even call them discussions on YouTube, the back and forth, I'd like to believe that at some point we could elevate that discussion to having, and sharing cogent points. I love talking about these types of things because, I have opinions, you have opinions, and as long as we can share those opinions back and forth without necessarily accusing one person or resorting to name calling, I think we're generally having a good, potentially fruitful discussion that might turn one side or the other to thinking from the other person's perspective. And that, I think, is really the hallmark of it, a very good debate. So think about the legality of things separate from the ethics behind decisions. Whichever side of the fence you might stand on this particular topic or any particular topic, they're two completely different things.